All right, first and foremost, give our praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from Indiana Camp. Come back again, wanted to sit down. Um, this is Psalms chapter 110 and verse 3. It says, Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. All right, and we're going to look at this word willing right quick. The word voluntarily, voluntariness, free will offering, free will, voluntary, and offering. So in this time right now, when's the Lord's power gonna really? When is the Lord really gonna show His power? All right, He's gonna show His power in Jacob's trouble. He's gonna show His power in World War III. He's showing His power now, man. All right, but a lot of people are not acknowledging that these things that's coming to these things that's coming to the world, you know. Hey, even Esau rolling down, even Esau, the so-called white man, coming down, his fierce power. People are not acknowledging that's really the Lord. The Lord is setting up everything. All right, and in this scripture it says that Israel, basically his people, are going to be willing. They're going to be voluntarily. People are going to be trying to figure out what to do, what they got to do to be okay. You know, they're going to actually be questioning their own doctrine. They're going to be questioning the things that they've been believing for years. They're going to be questioning that. You know, they're going to be if you're a so-called Muslim, a so-called Christian, whatever, what Scientology. Because the scripture talks about what? Men's hearts shall fail them, man. Basically, they're going to want answers. People are going to want to know what's going on. And whatever they've been believing in, the BS that they've been believing in for so long is not going to give them those answers. But you know who going to have the answers? The so-called crazy men that was on the streets screaming at the top of their lungs, saying that this is going to happen, that was going to happen, and you just shoot them by. They're going to have the answers, man. Anything else you turn to ain't gonna have the answer. As a matter of fact, Esau has an answer for you. He has a RFID microchip for you. That's gonna be his answer. But I'm telling you, if you take that, if you take that answer, if you go that route, the end outcome ain't gonna be good for you, man. So I advise you not to take it. I advise you to reject that answer. And if you're an Israelite, come back to the statute laws and the commandments and the love of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right. What was I finna get? Oh yeah. Hold on, Slakia. I was just checking on my car, make sure ain't anybody messing with it. Yeah, this is Luke chapter this is Luke chapter 21 and verse 24. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away into captivity, all nations. Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, distress of the nations with perplexity, the sea of the waves roaring. And this is already has already happened. you know Verse 26, it says, men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things shall begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your Redeemer draweth nigh. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to come and crack those clouds, and he's going to come with that chariot. All right, he's going to come with that big, massive chariot, and people's hearts, their lahab is going to, they're not going to have no answers, man. They're not going to know what's going on. You know, they're going to be fearful. The people are going to be having heart attacks. People are going to be having strokes. You know, what the book is Zechariah says what? The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. So everybody's going to be in distress, man. You know? And then that's when people are really gonna start, how can I say, questioning a lot of things. Why is this happening? What can we do to escape it? You know. And then when they all find out that, you know what, the men, the Lord's gonna give them that the men on the corner. You should have listened to them. The Lord's gonna give everybody that the same type of, like, damn, maybe we should have listened. Maybe we should have heard them out. You know, because you see it all in the movies. What, the crazy guy with the sign, the homeless, they try to depict him as a crazy homeless man, the conspiracy theorist. You know, he's on the corner talking about the world's gonna end. In all the disaster movies, 2012, zombie apocalypse movies, um, you know, all types of movies where something bad's gonna happen. You got a crazy guy. Hey, matter of fact, it was actually in the movie Lil Nicky. You know, if you ever see the movie Lil Nicky with Adam Sandler, the crazy guy basically saying the devil has come, the devil has come, he's among us, and he seen Lil Nicky, and he seen him. He was like, hey, that's the devil right there, you know. And he tried to, but that guy's he's portrayed as crazy in the movie, you know. Nobody didn't believe him. Nobody, So they tried. So that's their way of mocking us as well, man. Basically saying the things that we're saying ain't gonna come to pass. But ultimately, what when it comes to pass, everybody's gonna think back on, like, damn, those guys was right. And then guess what they're gonna and then guess what Jake always do when disaster hits. Let me go ahead and grab it. What Jake started folding. Jake started like, hey, what I got to do to survive? But at that point, man, it's gonna be too late, man. The gates of mercy is gonna be closed. And if you ain't in the Lord's house, man, it's over for you. You know. This is Hosea chapter 5 verse 15. It says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense. Which 2/3 of Israel is not gonna acknowledge their offense, man. All right. Only the elect are going to actually understand what they did was wrong, and they're going to come back to the Lord in sincerity and in truth. Those are the ones the Lord's going to come back and redeem. Those are the ones the Lord's going to come back and save. But the other ones, man, they're going to have to catch a missile, and they're going to have to get it right back in the king. They're going to have to get it right back in the second go round, you know. So as I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they shall seek me early. See, so what in their affliction, when Jake is getting belt to ass, when Jake is getting oppressed, then what happens? Then they call upon the Lord. Then they try to seek mercy, you know. Then they start switching up. What was that dude? The guy, the motherfucker was in a wheelchair right before he died. He so called turned into a Christian. Um, Stephen Hawking, you know, right before he passed, right before he got killed. He's supposed to turn, and he's supposed to be in a Scientology, didn't believe in God for all these years, and then boom, uh, um, and then boom, what? Right before he passed, he so called started believing in God, you know. So right when people perish, or right when people, and that's when people's true characteristic comes out, when you're face to face with death, when you're faced with safe, when you're face to face with a bad time, and your life is getting in threat, and your life is threatened, you know. That's when people true characteristics starts to show what manner of person they are. You know, are you a coward? Are you gonna flee? Are you gonna turn your back? Or are you a man of honor? Are you gonna stand 10 toes down for the Lord? All right, and that's what's all Jacob's trouble is gonna prove, man. Jacob's trouble in these times that we're coming in, it's really gonna separate the boys from the men. It's gonna separate the men of the Lord from the 2/3, and that's what Apostle Tahar kinged it years ago, man. He had said, he said, in a minute, it's not gonna be no more GMS, no more Wi-Fi, no more IUIC, no more IUSUPK. It's gonna be the men of the Lord, and it's gonna be the 2/3 and the false prophets. You know, it ain't gonna be none of these titles that we have no more, man. You gonna know a man, how he conducts himself, man, how his conversation is. You gonna be able to see it, you know. And in this time, man, we gonna see who gonna fold, and who gonna turn his back on the Lord, because it's written that it's gonna happen, you know. Judas Iscariot is a testimony of that. See what he did? He turned his back on the Lord. And what about the men? who followed Yahushua, and when he was talking about eating his flesh and drinking his blood, what did they do, man? They turned their back and left. You know, only the 12 stayed after that. So that just shows you, man, people are gonna be betraying. You know, hey, it might be some men in your camp that betray you. You know, they might be dross when the Lord start turning up the fire in this place, which you can see it already. But when the Lord start really turning up the fire in this place, you're gonna see a lot of men moving funny. You know, start acting a little funny, not acting the way they usually act. Like, man, you know, this guy might fold. This guy might turn us in. You know, and if you look up the word dross, I believe they changed it, but I looked it up a long time ago. If you look up the word dross goes into it said basically weak metals with low melting points. So basically, if you put a little bit of fire to it, they're already start melting. They're already folding. You know, matter of fact, it's some metals out there that starts to melt just by the touch of your hand, just by the warmth of your hand. You know, tin is a real is an example. Tin is a metal that can melt real easy. You know, but then you got other metals that it takes a lot of heat. It takes a lot of heat for them to melt. All right, which means what? You can't just easily break them. You can't just easily break that metal down. Tungsten is one of them. You know, steel is another. You know, these metals it takes a lot of heat. You know, in the thousands to really break down those metals. But other metals like aluminum, steel, not steel, it's like aluminum or tin, those metals are really, really weak. You know, you put a little fire in them, up under them, and they are already melting. You know, and the Lord is coming to separate that dross. You know, what the scripture talks about, the Lord shall make us. He's gonna bring us through the fire. You know, grab it real quick. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. It says, "It shall come to pass that in though that all in the it's like it, that in all the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." Verse 9 it says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried." See, and the thing about gold and silver, when you refine it, when you take all the impurities out of gold and silver, I believe the dross the dross either floats to the bottom. I mean, the dross either sinks to the bottom or floats to the top. I can't pinpoint exactly what does it do, but they basically separate the impurities separates from the pureness. All right, and at the end, what do? You take the pureness and you get rid of the dross. You know, you get rid of the metals that you don't want. All right, the things that decreases the value of the pure gold. You know, and pure gold is a 24 karat. You know, 24 karat pure gold is 100% gold, man. You know, but other people, in the jewelry business, they mix certain metals with it to give it more elasticity, to bend more, so you have more of it. Because it's very rare you see 100% pure gold watches or 100% pure gold chains. They usually mix with other metals. Uh, um, they're usually mixed with other metals because that pure gold chains and pure gold watches, that's hell of expensive. And then on top of that, metal gold is very soft. So if you want to harden up gold a little bit to withstand, you're going to mix it with other harder metals. you know but that's besides the point. The point is the Lord is coming to separate the fakes from the real men. All right, the phonies from the real men. All right, and Lord willing, what we be part of that pure gold, man. All right, we be part of the pureness. You don't want to be dross. You don't want to be the phonies, because those are the ones who's gonna melt. Those are the ones who's gonna fold. All right. This is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble, man. See, and that's exactly what type of mindset we really should be in these times, man. You know, making not haste in the time of trouble, constantly enduring, man. All right, and set our heart aright, constantly, you know, being circumspect. Not always, looking for the next, well, what's the next plan? What's the next, what we gonna do here? What vacation we gonna take here? What's going on, man? We need to be more circumspect more now than ever, especially with a lot of stuff ramping on, and we seeing how 2025 is coming in. We should be more, we should be preparing ourselves, man. Hey, the elder of our camp had just left a message to all of us saying, prepare ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically, you know, because the things that's coming down the pipe is not going to be pretty. And the elder said, some of us, if we not prepared for it, some of you brothers might fold, you know, or some of you brothers might get weak, or some of you brothers might get caught up. I think that's what he said, brothers might get caught up. So we got to prepare ourselves. All right. Verse 3, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away. It said, and that's real important, man. Departing not away, because right now we should be trying to seek the Lord. Uh, 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 um, we should be trying to seek the Lord more now than ever. All right. We shouldn't be getting distracted. Treating the brother Kai always loves saying, treating the Lord like a side chick, the chick you only want to pick up or you want to hit up when you want something, and you put it back down and you leave and you don't talk to her for a couple weeks. You know, you don't want to treat the Lord like that. You don't want to treat His work like that. You want to constantly be involved in the Lord, because what you want the Lord to be constantly involved with you. You know, you don't want the Lord to forget you and forsake you when you need Him. All right. So why would you? No, why would you forget and forsake the Lord's work, or forget and forsake the Lord when you doing good, man? The Scripture talks about treating your neighbor as basically how you want to be treated. So you don't think that the Father who made that law it respects the same thing? You should treat the Lord as how you want to be treated. And if you're going through hard times, don't you want the Lord to save you out of those hard times? If you're going through something, don't you want the Lord to act fast? But yet the Lord give you a video idea and you postpone it, like, I'll do that later. You know? Now what if the Lord do that to you? It doesn't seem very it doesn't feel so very good now, does it? And best believe I'm talking to myself before I'm talking to anybody else, man. I'm definitely talking to myself, because I can definitely do way more. All right, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yashah, Lord willing, I can do way more. I mean, I will do way more. All right, I don't have no excuse to I have no excuse for the actions I've been portraying for the last past couple of days. All right, but best thing I can say right now is, man, I'm just trying to do better in the future. All right, let's continue. This is still in verse 3. It says, that thou mayest be increased at the last end. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. See, so you got to have patience, man, and you got to take it cheerfully, because guess what? You got to understand that we're not going to live pleasant all the time in this place, man. We're going to catch hell. Things are not going to go your way all the time. Matter of fact, Lord willing, that's going to be the next video I'm going to do. Sometimes you might not get your way. You're not, matter of fact, matter of fact, you're gonna not you what am I trying to say? You're not gonna get your way more than you're gonna get your way. Things that you want, things that you desire for, you're not gonna get those. You might get some of them. You might get, Lord might throw you a bone here. You might, be successful in a handful of things, but majority of the things you're gonna fail at. Majority of the things it's not always gonna be what you want, you know, and that's just the way the Lord has it. The Lord has it that way. The Lord has it where the Lord has it basically where everything is not gonna be your way. Because guess what? If you always got your way, what do you do with a spoiled brat? What we call him spoon fed. What happens to him? What, he starts to get bitter. He starts to get like a know it all. He starts to get proud. You know. And if you're part of the elect, the Lord knows that He doesn't want you to be like that. So guess what? He's gonna have it where He's gonna move you in certain directions that's best suits for you. And then guess what? When you look back at it, like, you know what? I ain't really need that anyways. I'm glad the Lord did it this way. I'm glad I didn't have it this way. Cool. The water Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I didn't need that. I ain't need that car anyways. I ain't need that house. The Lord want me here. Matter of fact, let me pray and see what the Lord has in store for me. Lord, why do you have me here? Please reveal to me my job and please reveal to me my usefulness. Why am I here? You know? That's why I said take it cheerfully, man, because wherever you at in your state of life, the Lord has you there for a purpose, you know? And best believe the Lord knows what's best. Just like you know what's best for your children. If your children ask to eat cupcakes and cookies all day, and you like, nah, because what? It's probably gonna spike their blood sugar. They're gonna get obese. They're gonna get fat. Then it ain't gonna be no good. So what you gonna feed them? Fruits, vegetables, proteins, grains, rice, potatoes, carbs, or whatever. You gonna feed them things that's sufficient for them. Things that's good for them. They might not know it right now as children, but when they get up to teenagers and then eventually adults, they understand that, damn, we couldn't eat the things that we wanted to eat because those things wasn't good for us. Those things was chock full of sugar and preservatives. So my pops, what he did, he fed us with things that was gonna be nourishing to the body, you know. And now I ain't growing up obese. Now I ain't growing up fat. Did they understand that at that time? No, but they understood it later on. That was the point, you know. And we have to take that same mindset when it comes to the Lord, man. You know. So guess what? We're not gonna always get what we want. But like I said, I'm doing that video, you know, Lord willing, right after this video. You know, if the Spirit is on me, you know, you're not gonna get your way all the time. But anyways, let's continue. It says, here's the point right here. Verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. See? So in order for you to be acceptable, in order for the Lord to accept you, you have to go through that fire. You have to go through something. All right? You're not just going to cakewalk into the kingdom, man. You're not just going to hop, skip, and a jump into salvation. You have to, there's things you have to do. There's things you have to sacrifice. All right? The Lord requires it. But guess what? The main thing you have to do is what? Endure. That's the main. That's really the main thing, man. And be patient. One of my favorite scriptures in the Book of Lamentations, it says what? A righteous man shall both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord, man. All right. But that word hope and quietly wait goes into patience, man. Having patience, not giving up. Hey, what the scriptures say in verse 3? It says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away." You know. Don't give up. Don't be like, man, Lord, take it too long. Or man, this ain't beneficial. Because guess what? When things start ramping up, guess what? The first thing the Lord's gonna throw in your mind, man, I should have stuck with it. Best believe all these fallouts, all these people that gave up on the truth, all these people that don't teach no more, or try to come up with another way, or try to do something. Best believe the Lord's gonna throw. Well, you had it right the first time, but you gave up. They're gonna feel extremely shameful that they gave up and they gave up on the Lord. The ones who don't go out on more, the ones who don't do videos, they might still call themselves an Israelite, but guess what? They probably don't do nothing. They probably don't do no work or nothing. I wholeheartedly believe that the Lord is going to send reminders in their mind and plague them with it. I'm talking about plaguing them with it, where they like, man, I should have kept doing the work, man. I should have kept doing the work. Damn, why did I give up? Why did I give up? Now I'm fucked up. The Lord probably gonna plague them with it, man. I speak as a man when I say that. That's just what personally I believe. The Lord he's going to show that, hey, you should have kept with it, man. You should have endured. All right. But that's all I really had. I can read verse 6. It says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. See? So what? You believe on him, you trusting on him, he's going to have your back. He's gonna make sure your way is right, because guess what? He knows best. This is omnipotent power we're dealing with, man. He knows everything before we even know it. We have to understand that we're dealing with omnipotent, all powerful, omnidirectional. There's nothing the Lord is surprised at. There's nothing that what did your parents say? There's nothing that you did that I didn't already do. You know. All wisdom, knowledge, and understanding comes from him. He is the embodiment of understanding. That right there alone is like, damn, how can you even, where do you even go from there? He is understanding. He's so much understanding, he can give it away. He has the power to give away understanding. And the thing about it is, you can give away understanding, but all you're doing is you're giving what something was given into you. See, the Lord was never give. The Lord never got understanding. He is understanding, but He can give it away. And guess what? He can take it away. He can take. He can give it away, and He can take it away. See, you can only give. You can't technically take it away because you can't unteach something that you already taught. If I sit here and teach you how to cook, I can't go in your mind and like, yeah, I'm gonna take this part out, and now you forgot how to cook. But the Lord can do that. Hey man, whoo, Lord's scary, man. That's why the scripture says, man, fear not him that can kill the body, but him that can kill the body and soul. We're dealing with we dealing with a righteous and all powerful omnipotent essence. You know. But right now I'm just rambling on. So Lord will, I hope this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to say shalom.